Sagittarius, this is your love reading for Valentine's. Now, I only do these Valentine's love reading every Valentine's. And as it's not time bound, I think it's fair to assume it's got quite a long time scale to it, maybe a year. As always, my readings have a few twists, and I guess maybe because it's for a year, these love readings in particular seem to. They often are a balance between high and low vibrations, although yours looks to be quite high vibrational, even though I don't fully comprehend it. Central card there is a strength card. It's reminding you that whatever you go through, you are strong. Suggests to me that you're not getting your way, even though I can't see how at the moment. In the recent past, we have the charity card. Now, normally I'd say that's about you being charitable to others or receiving charity. But for Valentine's, it appears to be about you being open to love. Your current energy is that of the Queen of Wands. And if you look at her, you might get the impression that it's suggesting you have a penchant for S&M. But no. What I think it's saying is that you tend to be a bit manipulative, maybe manipulative in love. In the future, we have the High Priestess, somebody that has command of her subconscious, so moving from manipulation to really understanding the psychology of herself and others. Maybe such a deep understanding it's almost spiritual. What leads to the outcome is you becoming reflective. Are you reflective because you can't find love? Because I can't see love anywhere in this. Could be. Or are you reflective about a relationship that maybe feels loveless? That could also be the case. You're missing other opportunities, certainly as a result of being reflective, but it's no bad thing to be reflective. What would change things is the energy of the King of Pentacles. Is he Pentacles? I think he's Wands, isn't he? Yeah, King of Wands, yeah. I normally see him as the natural entrepreneur. But I wonder if this is saying that if you just wallow in what's happening to me, just looking inside yourself, maybe you'll not get the answers you want and you need to act. It changes the outcome, but the outcome I don't think is a bad outcome. It's the Justice card. Now, this could be actual justice. It could be a court case. Have you had a failed relationship and there's a divorce? Maybe that's why you're going inside yourself and thinking. I don't know. You can get through it. If you've done wrong and you admit to it, you've got nothing to fear. You will be punished, but be firm but fair. But I feel this is justice coming in your favour. But do stay with me as we try and find out. Now, the central card, which is an energy running throughout it, is the card of strength. This is an inner strength. What it's saying to me is that whatever is happening during the time span of this reading, which, as I say, I think is about a year, whatever is happening, you're strong enough to deal with it. So it does suggest that despite, on the face of it, the reading not seeming bad, you are going to go through some mixed emotions during this year. And the universe is just reassuring you you're strong enough, you can cope with it. Yeah, now I can't see what's so bad, but maybe it is in the further back in the past, and I'm right. Further back in the past there was a divorce, maybe. Sorry, I just said divorce. There was a split up, and in this year there's a divorce. Now, I can't see an ending of a relationship in the past. In the recent past, we have the card of charity. Were you very generous towards a partner in the past? Were they very generous to you? Are you somewhat smarting from that? You know, that is a credible explanation. Other signs readings for Valentine's, I've interpreted this about you having an open heart, which of course is it's the same sort of energy. But I wonder if you were physically very generous to a former partner. And this is somewhat playing on your mind, I wonder. Now, when I left an abusive relationship after 20 odd years, I left most of our communal possessions, and it included a rather valuable bronze of the riding crop. So what do we have in your current energy? A picture of a queen with a riding crop. And as I say, it doesn't mean a penchant for S&M, even though my bronze might have, only at the fringes, let's put it that way. No, what this is about is getting the best out of people, knowing how to get the best out of people. And you just look at it. I mean, you know, I would gladly bend over and allow her to hit me with that riding crop. And it's that sort of thing. Is it that she inspires people to follow her, to work with her? Or is it manipulation? And I think it's a fine line between the two. And I think you're right on the boundary of that line. Now, the outcome of this is you're going to develop a very feminine energy, and you might be male, but you're going to develop a very feminine energy, a feminine intuition. Might even seem like divine knowledge. You will have control, well, understanding of your emotions and those of others. So I think you're going to learn something very important as a result of the time span of this reading. And I think you're going to come out of it quite well, to be perfectly honest. As I say, there's ups and downs, but you're being told you're strong. And I think it's worth sticking with it, not getting into despair. Now, I say despair, and the energy that leads to the outcome, it's not really a card of despair. It's a card of quiet contemplation. Contemplating. Now, if I'm right about a relationship breakup, and you know, we don't have any real evidence of it, but if I'm right about that, then you're thinking it through. What could I have done better? Why did that happen? I think you're fairly astute, you know, and you're going to end up, and this is where this high priestess energy comes in, you're going to end up understanding it, but you probably need to go through a lot of things in your mind. The problem with doing this is that you do miss other opportunities. So there may be opportunities coming up for love, and you couldn't be bothered with it at the moment. You've got too much to think about, too much on your plate, you know. And you do need to sort your head out, and that's not a bad thing to be doing. And I think the outcome's a good outcome, and this does lead to the outcome. Now, what would change the energy is the energy of the King of Wands. I normally describe him as the entrepreneurial king, but I wonder if in these circumstances it's just about someone who acts. He has experience, he has knowledge, but he does something. So it's a sort of counterbalance to that doing nothing and trying to work it out. So whether this is a good thing or a bad thing because it changes the outcome depends on our view of the outcome. I suspect whether the outcome's good or bad, it's necessary. So probably acting, or could it be reacting, is not the right path. Probably. You see, the outcome is justice. It's justice, not judgment. So it's not karmic, or at least I don't think it is. Could even be a court case, which is what leads me to think that is this all about divorce. And it certainly would be a convincing narrative, but maybe not the correct one. But yeah, there's justice coming. Now, I think divorce is the perfect example, because if you went through a formal divorce, chances are neither of you would feel satisfied. You know, you've got nothing really to worry about. It'll be fair, it'll be firm, and you'll spend a lot of money on lawyers. You know, is it justice against you? It could be, but as I say, it'd be firm, it'd be fair. If you hold your hand up, there's nothing to worry about. But I think it's more likely to be coming in your favour, you know. If you remember, I'm sure that you learned something from this, and I'm sure you learned something about psychology. And maybe, you know, if we're talking of a divorce and you find out how bitter your ex-partner became, you do learn about psychology, and it'd be a hard lesson. In which case, maybe this acting, this magnanimity, maybe acting with magnanimity is the right thing to do to avoid spending too much money on messy divorces. Maybe. I think we can summarise for you, even though I'm not 100% sure of a decent narrative. What I can tell you is these are all energies that you will feel. Sagittarius, I'm going to tell you a story, or going to paint a narrative from your spread that could be completely wrong. It makes sense, but we're only talking about energies. This isn't fortune telling. These are energies that are going to impact on you. So if you can try and extrapolate from this story the energies that will impact on you, because of, you know, the story might be completely wrong. I get the impression that in the past you were possibly married, certainly had a strong relationship, and that has ended. And certainly you feel like you were very generous towards this person. It's possible that even in your generosity you're a bit manipulative. I think you've got the ability to inspire others and people will follow you. But sometimes when it goes wrong, this could be seen as manipulation. You're somewhat aware of this, you know. You're thinking it all through. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? How could I have done it differently? Going inside yourself looking for answers. But in doing so, you're probably missing out on other opportunities for love. Now, it depends on whether we see the outcome as good or bad, but I think the outcome is necessary. But you acting or reacting to what's going on, rather than trying to think it through, would change things. Maybe if if it's a divorce and you continue to be magnanimous, you can avoid paying too much in legal fees, even though it doesn't seem right. But you know, the universe wants you to know you're strong. You can get through this, don't worry about it. So is there a divorce at the end? Well, it certainly feels like that. And as I say, the only people who gain are the lawyers. So you're going to learn something if you go through this process, and I think you'll learn about human psychology, including your own. Maybe your former partner is vindictive in a divorce. But you know, the whole thing is set up as confrontational, isn't it? But yeah, you're going to learn about psychology, including your own, as a result of all this. Now, this is just a story that I can see in the cards. Could be completely different, but if you can take those energies, those feelings from the narrative I've painted, those are the energies that are going to impact on you during this year.